A reader lives 1,000 lives before they die. Someone who doesn't lives only one. Good afternoon, esteemed guests, honorable judges, and fellow 4-H members. My name is Reese. I'm 14 years old in the Beef and Light Horse Project, and I've been in 4-H for 5 years. From the time I could read on my own, I've always been drawn to books. Maybe it's because they've always been there. Throughout all the craziness of being a teenager and the drama it brings, I've always been able to rely on the fact that I can wind down at the end of the day and immerse myself in a good book. I see a lot of truth behind my opening line. Each story you pick up has its own unique characteristics. No two books are ever the same. A little world built on pages and pages of imagination. And in these stories, I've learned so much. Here are a few life skills I have taken from reading copious amounts of novels of all genres. First, mistakes are a part of life. Can you imagine if you watched a movie or read a book and nothing bad ever happened? Every day was perfect. You could predict every little thing that happened. You wouldn't be interested, would you? Life is a lot like that in a sense. Can you envision going through life without a single hiccup? Everything was handed to you on a silver platter. It sounds too good to be true. That's because it is. You wouldn't learn anything. Life would be pointless. You can't go through life expecting to be perfect, expecting not to make mistakes. You have to make mistakes to learn, and you have to work hard to accomplish the things you want in life. The obstacles you encounter and hardships you endure are what you grow from and what make you into the best version of yourself. Second, being the black sheep isn't always the worst thing. Setting yourself apart and not following the crowd teaches valuable life lessons. Can you name a main character from a book or a movie that was completely and utterly normal? It's hard. The whole reason we're drawn to these characters is because they're different and put in unique circumstances that tend to endure hardships and make choices that will set them apart from what's going on in the story. Usually, the story ends well and the tough choices work out for the best for that character. What I take away from this is that we can't live our lives for other people or only think about what others think of us. It's impossible to please everybody, so why would we change ourselves for an unreachable goal? Live your life for you and do what makes you happy. Third, you choose who your family is. As much as we look up to the characters in the books that we grew up with, the truth is, they don't always have a fairy tale backstory. Many grow through hardships that they learn to overcome, but you have to notice how they never do it on their own. So many of our beloved characters we have discovered in these novels grew up without a family. Whether they were not welcome in their family or their family had passed, their lives were never perfect. Even if these characters are fictional, so many can relate to these scenarios. Blood isn't the only thing that defines family. I moved across the country when I was only 3 years old, leaving my family behind in New Brunswick. But that doesn't mean I'm far away from my family. My friends are just as much my family as the ones related to me by blood. If you aren't accepted with your family, that doesn't mean you have to go through the hard times in life alone. And lastly, though there are many lessons and pieces of advice we can take from reading different stories and literature, we still have to remember that many are actual fairy tales and nowhere close to real life. But I have learned through many years of reading and digesting different genres that although books take the extreme measures to captivate their audience, if you learn to read it between the lines, even in the simplest form of a fairy tale, there's always lessons to be learned and advice I take forward with me in my day-to-day life as I grow and learn. I encourage you next time you read your favorite book or pick up your favorite series, read in between the lines. Take something from it and apply it to your life. You may surprise yourself. A reader lives 1,000 lives before they die. Someone who doesn't lives only one. That is how I started my speech today. I believe being able to be captivated and brought into a story, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, a love story, or a thriller, you're able to put yourself in the story and live what the characters are living and feel what they're feeling. And it brings a sense of community to the pages and to the reader. It brings a sense of value on how to apply it to your life. Thank you.